Divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This old world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God says it all.
Good evening and welcome to ITW Radio. It is 12/4 of 2018. Holy crap. We're already into December. Christmas is going to be here in just a few days. Tonight, as every Tuesday night, I have my co-host on the show with me, Greg Williams, attorney at law, and pissed off at the left. How you doing tonight, Greg?
Great.
I love those
hey,
posters.
Breathing that clean air in Jacksonville.
Do what?
I'm breathing that clean air in Jacksonville.
Yeah. So when are you letting it get so cold?
I got something. I don't know what's going on with the picture here, but we as a country have the cleanest air, the cleanest water of all the industrialized countries, by and large.
Oh, you're freezing up. Okay, go ahead and say that one more time in English. You've been talking about the border too much lately. You've been speaking in Spanglish.
I'm just saying that we as a country, a nation state, have very clean water and clean air. You get rid of San Francisco and California, and we got really good environmental, we're good compared to Europe and the rest of the industrialized world. So that's why we don't need to be in that Paris Pact.
Oh, yeah. It's a mess over there. I got it before we get started. I got to say hi to Dawn and Gary and Gail and Julie and Samantha.
Is your tech guy there?
Yeah, all these people are banging in right now on one of the sites.
I can't see anything because I've got this computer board popped up.
I know I keep everything hid from you. That way,
I know why.
That way you don't have
to.
That way, some of the rude comments that come in, you don't have to deal with.
Right, but I got a board here. It's a computer board. It's a picture.
Oh, you moving up in the world?
Yeah.
Hey, when are we going to When are we going to raffle that Leonard Skinner album you got sitting over there in the corner? That gold album with a picture of him.
That gold record. That's the Simple Man. What was that? That's pronounced Leonard Skinner. Unfortunately, you need to be able to see it. There's some sort of glitch in your box here on the screen.
Okay.
It's blocking you and me.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I can see it fine on this end.
Where's Chris? Where's Chris at?
Oh, Chris, say hi. There he is. See his thumb back in the background?
Like there's a big square that shouldn't be in the screen for some reason.
I don't know. Everything looks fine on our end. Okay, so what the hell's going on over in Paris?
Well, I'm just saying that we don't need to be in it because we've already got clean air, clean water, and the climate accord thing where they want to basically redistribute wealth from the wealthier countries and give it to the poor countries and create their socialist utopia.
Well, yeah, they're pretty pissed. They're pretty pissed off. They're going to raise their gas tax from 47 cents to $47.
Hey, they're rioting in France right now. They're going to have another French Revolution if you're not careful. They're screwing the people over there.
Oh, big time. I was watching these guys on TV today, and on one of the British broadcast networks over there, and these guys are actually picking up the smoke grenades and taking in the tear gas canisters that they're firing at them, and they're using golf clubs to bat them back at them. You know, it doesn't make any sense. If I was the cops, I don't think I would stand up for that crap.
Wow. I don't think so either. But anyway, go ahead. Can you see me?
Yeah, you're coming through clear.
All right, 'cause I got a big square Tascom mini studio picture over your picture and my picture.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Now we can see you perfect. We can hear you pretty good. So,
All right.
So let me ask you something here, Greg. Here we go again with a wall. I mean, all the stations today that I saw were covering pretty much George Bush, you know, the old man, and his death and everything. But I flipped over to CNN like I always do, and a couple of the other stations, and here they are going on and on about Trump, about the Mueller investigation closing up, and how they're going to fry him. And Comey said this, and Comey didn't say that, and blah 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 blah.
Who cares what CNN and the other misinformation highways, that being the mainstream media, say or think anymore? I mean, we as Americans got to get past CNN. They are dishonest. They've been dishonest for a long time. And it's the worst case. They have the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome, them and MSNBC. But all I can tell you is when you have a problem with CNN, go to YouTube, plug in the Trump mime where he's wrestling the CNN mime or meme or whatever they call them, and it makes you smile.
Yeah. Hey, did you see where the Clintons, now they're dropping their tickets? They were in Canada yesterday. 80% of the seats, or 86% of the seats, were vacant. They had to drop the tickets down to $11.
Good. Maybe they had a better crowd.
Yeah, I think
that's what they the elitists that they are.
So what do you think it is? You think people are just getting sick of the Clintons? They're all worn out on them, or do you think people realize there's so much corruption that they don't want to be involved with them?
Well, there's both. It's a little of both. It's the Clinton fatigue factor. You know.
Well,
I mean, hey, I personally think Hillary's going to run again, and I think she could win. She ought to run. She could, right?
I don't think Hillary win.
Yeah. You know, Hillary. Anyway. So there's this football mime. You know, if you go to YouTube, there's all kinds of good Trump stuff where he's taking on the establishment. And they got one where Hillary's running untouched into the end zone. And then Trump tapped her on the 10-yard line with the bone-jarring tackle. It was unbelievable.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
Martha,
funny stuff out.
Martha Stewart, Smith Mann wrote in. She said, what do you think about China's agreement to buy more American-made products?
Well, it's about time.
Yeah. Well, the market today it plummeted. I didn't see what it closed out at. I should have bought some stocks, but.
Well, you know, it goes up and down. We're volatile. You got the Dems trying to talk it down. You got Bloomberg trying to talk it down. The fundamentals are good. You know, and basically, Trump is going to tariff China until they get it together. I mean, if China can't keep ripping us off forever. So I think that eventually cooler heads will prevail and it's going to be good. But, you know, it's manipulated. There's a lot of people taking profits, this, that, and the other. Unfortunately, I'm invested, so I got to ride it up and ride it down and ride it back up.
Yeah, it'll go back up. I mean, Trump is standing his ground on this stuff. You know.
Well, it went up quite a bit. Last week was like the best week, and then yesterday we gave it back, or today. But we'll get it back tomorrow. You know, it goes up and it goes down. But it's a little volatile right now, but I still feel I'm bullish.
Oh, he said, remind Joy Baynard how.
Other than, said, you know, maybe people, the computer people trying to manipulate the market a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah, Amy wrote in and said, remind Joy Baynard how good we have it.
Oh, that Joy. What a piece of work she is. You got to get some video of The View. I don't watch it. I ain't got time to waste watching it. But I saw something where she was arguing with Romney's daughter, and it looked so bad. They're supposed to be talking about the Bush funeral, and of course, Behar wants to use it to trash Trump. All I can say is, Trump has been a cool cat for a long time, and he's a smart man. He's a right man at the right time. I saw an old video today of Trump in 1992, long before he became president. Believe it or not, there was some NFL deal, and it was in some stadium, and they introduced Trump. Chris Collinsworth, and we all know Chris. He's a former Gator. I don't know him, but, good announcer, been around. He was probably just starting his announcing career. And he announced Trump, and it was great. He says, and any man who is dating Marla Maples is okay with me. Because she was absolutely drop dead beautiful in 92. I think she became his second wife or something. But anyway, he threw the football into the hole and all that. It was a big deal. But Chris Collinsworth introduced him. It's pretty neat. There's a lot of old footage of Trump because, he was very visible for years.
Oh, yeah. Back in the 90s, he was saying how China was screwing us and they should do it in the 80s and 90s. And the guy's been right the whole time. I've gone back and checked out a bunch of old footage of him and stuff. And this guy has been dead on it ever since. And he said in one of his interviews, if he ever became president, he would stand up to the Chinese and wouldn't take any crap off of them and do exactly, now this is 20-something years ago, and do exactly what he said then, he's doing now. And he said, I wouldn't back down from them. That's what's the matter with, our president says we have it now. Oh, Brad just joined us. How you doing, Brad? And Lori. Kirby. I know Lori. She's a nice woman. Anyways, the people coming over the wall. Did you see that today? And
I didn't see it. I've been busy today. I'll see it tonight.
They had to take 2 kids to the hospital today on our side, of course. Now it's going to cost us $50,000 plus for face reconstruction, where both of them face planted. You got these idiots bringing these kids over the wall, taking them up there 20-something feet and dropping them.
Those parents ought to be put in jail for that. But the problem is they don't even know who the parents were. And the sad part is how many Mexicans are getting killed trying to get over here while they're in Mexico by these traffickers. It's terrible.
Tijuana sped up with it. I mean, holy crap. Yes, last night I was watching, and it was on one of the, I have the whole package deal with all the news sources and stuff. So I'm watching a couple of the independents, and my buddies, who I have friends all over the United States and all over the world who are reporters in Europe and all over the place. We've been chatting for years, and corresponding. And they sent me videos of all the trash that is piled up in Tijuana, and they just keep sweeping it out in the streets. Now, you know what that's going to do? That's going to infest rats. I mean, that's going to bring everything in.
That's terrible.
And not to mention the stuff that we've had pretty much eradicated in the United States, polio, smallpox, all this other stuff. Now in California, that crap is running rampant. You see any of that lately?
What's running rampant?
All the diseases, infection, head lice, bed bugs, which we pretty much had eradicated.
Thanks to our screwed up immigration lack of laws and lack of a decent system, we're now seeing diseases this country has never seen before or haven't seen in generations.
Oh, yeah. You and I
mean, they're not people are letting people come in with rare diseases now. It's terrible.
Oh, remember how bad polio was when you and I were kids? I know I still have the stinking scar up on my shoulder where they went and hit me with that multi thing so it wouldn't catch polio and stuff. And that hasn't been done on kids in years. And now they're going to have to bring it back. And polio is nothing to mess around with.
Oh, I agree. Well, it's terrible. All that's terrible.
Yeah, we got a couple of people. One of the people that's tuning in is the guy that he sent me a voicemail. Trump sucks. Y'all suck. The Putman way sucks. Y'all bunch of racists.
Obama sucks too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd love to get this guy on.
Obama sucks too.
He said that I
He just like
suck.
the word sucks.
Hey, I agree with him that I suck, but whatever. Oh God, I've got some real characters, man. I'd love to get this guy. I know who you are, and I'm not going to say your name on here, but if you want to call in, send me a message, a private message to either send it over to IITW Radio, and we'll let you call in, and me and Greg will interview you, because obviously you don't know the difference between a bull's ass and a banjo by what you're talking about. You've gone so far left, I think you're brain dead, buddy. And that's
Yeah,
one.
he's probably not that far left. He can't be as far left as these idiots are.
Oh, this guy's trying to.
Just lost their mind.
It,
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, what about that Princeton? There's a lot of stupid people at Princeton now. You know, the profs and the Ivy League schools. I don't know what they think they're doing, teaching all this anti-American crap. And they're poisoning our young people, indoctrinating them on socialism, and totally and ignoring America and what made America great. I mean, this is the greatest country in the world. Everybody wants to come here because we have freedom that if we can hold on to it. I mean, Google, they're going to crush our freedom. Facebook, a lot of these liberal tech companies want to manipulate the news and tell us what's news and what's not news. And it's terrible. There's a lot of mind control going on there, and you got to be careful.
Yeah. Ann wrote in and asked, have you seen any of the videos from Paloma for Trump? She's a woman that has dual citizenship and has been doing a live video from Tijuana.
Well, I haven't seen it. It might be worth seeing. Is it on YouTube?
I'm not sure. Ann, is that the woman who has a dual citizenship and she's like talking about how bad it is down there and how we still need a wall? If you can write in and let me know, because I've seen so many videos.
I mean, one thing about Trump, though, he's spot on this immigration. Here's something that's scary. There's like 30 camps that they hold these immigrants from that are trying to get in, and they're like $144 million a year, the fund. I mean, or $440 million. I mean, the numbers that we spend on this is outrageous. I mean, I've seen even more numbers, and it's a huge, huge number for our illegal immigrants that we, for some reason, are spending all this money on illegal immigrants. But yet, they don't want you to have a driver's license to vote. Give me a break. Give me a picture ID, and then I'll vote. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
it's not disenfranchisement of voters. The left has captured that issue. The liberal media is so dishonest about it. He's trying to disenfranchise it. He wants me to provide an ID. No, I wanted to come in and say I was Billy Bob when I'm Willie Bob.
Oh, I
want to vote for Willie Bob and Billy Bob.
You want me to tell you something that got me freaking fired up and pissed off yesterday? Or no,
what?
It was yesterday. Okay, so the phone carrier that I'm with, okay, I'm not going to mention their name, but the phone company that I'm with on my cell phones and stuff. Now, my bill runs me about $400 a month. Now, in my one account, I'm just probably like you. I only keep so much in this one account to pay the bills out. And so I get, I do the automatic pay. Well, I
never do auto pay because I don't want them to zap me if I don't have it. Go ahead.
Well,
you got to do it.
Four times.
What about the auto pay?
4 times in the same day now, they took out auto pay on the account. Okay. So it was about $1,600 that they zapped out of my account. Then they
shouldn't be able to.
No, then they caused it to go bust. When I tried to get them to put my money back in my account, they said they couldn't do it. What they would have to do is give credit back. They said that's not their policy. And I said, so it's your policy to screw people, right? So,
well, here's what I would do. I would complain. I would stay on top of that, and then I would get a new carrier, and I would not go auto pay ever again. Those guys are what? Why don't you go ahead and call them out? Let's shame them.
Well, I'm trying to give them a chance to straighten it out.
Well, we can shame them next week if it's James from you like that. That's wrong.
James Owen said, "Hi, Greg.
Hey, James Owen, stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. Anyhow,
That guy made
so
barbecue.
so now they screwed my account up. They caused me to have to pay. It was about 120, 150 bucks in overdraft charges on this one account. Okay, so then they said, well, we're not going to pay that. It isn't our fault. Bull crap, it is your fault. So I got a hold of the vice president, or the president of the company. If I have to, I'm going to fly to where he's at, drag his ass off his golf court. Him and I are going to have a conversation. But I'm going to give him a chance.
That's the whole thing. I mean, that's not, if they can pull it out, they can damn sure put it back in.
Well, I'm going to give him a chance, you know.
It can be done electronically too. I mean, the same function can take it from their account and put it back in your account. Now, did they say that you owed 4 months back for it?
Oh, no. I'm current on my bills. You know how I am. Hell, if I got to pay you, buddy, I pay on time.
I'm doing 4 times like that. That's ridiculous.
But here's what pissed me off, Greg. Okay, now I go to this phone carrier that's right here locally in our town, and it's a nationwide company. I go there, and they say that I have to pay my bill in cash from now on because I'm bouncing checks to them. And I'm like, bull crap, this is your fault. So I go in there to pay.
Not only that, you got auto pay allegedly, unless there was a problem with your auto pay.
No, they just totally screwed it up. They said, and they admitted that we've had this problem a few times. Okay, now here's the thing that's pissing me off about it. I go to pay my bill in cash. I go to pay my bill in cash. I've got my phone there and everything else. Then they tell me I can't pay my bill without a driver's license or a Florida photo ID. Now, how in the hell is that possible? Oh, Greg's.
Oh, are you writing a check?
How is that possible when people can come across the freaking border and don't have to have a damn license or anything to prove they're getting a license? Now, when I go into the DMV, I have to bring a birth certificate for my son, birth certificate, letters from at least 2 or 3 letters from major bill companies. I have to bring in, half the life history just to get a driver's license.
9/11. Everybody had to do that after 9/11. You don't only have to do it one time. But still, the point is you had to have a bunch of ID. And, you know, with the left, they just want your vote or your dead person's family member's vote. And they just want everybody to vote with no ID. And they really don't even want you to use your name now. I heard that the new policy on the left is that they just want you to use their first initial of your first name, and then you should be able to vote, because otherwise you're discriminating against people that would want to vote.
Yeah, that's a load of crap. Hey, you got to answer this one question. Or Ann wrote in something and said that she said yes, that's right on the video. First of all, that's the same woman. I love that gal because she's down there and she has dual citizenship. She had to go through an act of Congress, literally an act of Congress, to get her dual citizenship. And she's pissed off because of the illegals crossing the border now. But Ann wrote in and said that she said her daughter is going into nursing, and one of her classes is teaching her about more than 3 genders now. How's there more than 3 genders? You got a pecker and a punani. That pretty much sums it up.
That's another thing about the left that really gets me, and I love everybody, and we're all people, okay? You're either born man or a woman. I mean, this goes back to biblical times. There was Adam and there was Eve. There wasn't Tweeve. There wasn't some middle cross transvestite out there that wanted to create a race, of whatever. The whole thing is, it's absurd that we're going to dumb down our whole country. What they're doing is they're grooming children. They're grooming children. Now, I use the word groom because that's what these perverts do. They're grooming children to accept really kind of like a lifestyle that's more fit for, what is it called when the cross-dressers, right? So, cross-dressing, if it's a hobby, whatever. I know the Brits like to do it, Let's go to Great Britain where women or men and women are too, or whatever they say. But, they're doing a lot of cross-dressing. All this effort to go into cross-dressing, all this effort to go into all this transgender stuff as if it was like, millions and millions and millions of people. No, it's not millions and millions and millions of people. It's a small number of people looking for some sort of validity in their choice. It's the same political correctness that says, like Twitter this week, kicking people off saying, you can't ask questions about transgender. You must refer to that transgender who wants to be called, for instance, Bruce Jenner. You can't call Bruce Jenner, even though he's a man and his name is Bruce. You must refer to him by the name that he identifies with.
Caitlyn.
What do they call Bruce now?
Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn.
Yeah. I love how the media did that overnight. Bruce Jenner, without surgery, just painted his fingernails. We're going to call him Caitlyn Jenner. Wonderful. Yep. And we have the left to thank for that, because they never saw any special interest group they didn't want to include if they could buy them off.
Yeah, one of our readers wrote in and says, alternative lifestyles is taking on a whole new meaning. And Ann wrote in, I work the polls here, and we have to match signatures, period. Now, I know in Florida we have a little tougher things, but in California, they don't have to match signatures. They don't have to do jack squat. And probably the same down in Broward County and stuff, too.
I'm really glad that you mentioned that California thing. I read the Times Union. What a rag that is. I mean, hardly an original idea ever comes out of that paper. Florida Times Union is on a death spiral, similar to the New York Times. I mean, it's way too expensive for most people. $2 now for just it's a 20-page paper almost for $2. $4 on the Sunday paper if they can get it. It's real high. So now what we have is a lot of poor people that could probably benefit from reading the paper, can't afford to read it or buy it. So now we have even more ignorance, and then they put all their left-wing ignorance and on top of it. But the fact checkers are my real point. Someone needs to check the fact checkers. They had a big fact checker article, and they had it like prominently in the reason section about there's no voter fraud in California.
Yeah.
There's no fraud in California. Illegals don't vote in California. That's what the fact checkers were saying. And I'm like, really? I mean, Obama himself asked illegals to vote in the presidential election 2 days before the election on the Fusion Network, assured them they wouldn't get in trouble. Okay? I mean, give me a break. The naivety of saying, oh, people aren't voting illegally. That is such a crock.
Well, Notre Dame has predicted California would fall into the ocean, right? Because there's so much bullcrap that comes out of there.
I don't
and
know
Florida.
if you really predict that, but you know what? That might be closer to the truth than we think. There's a big fault line out there.
Yeah, that's from all the extra crap that they put out there. And it could be some truth to this, because you bring all those extra illegals over into the sanctuary of California, it's going to be too much weight for them. Did you ever see? The congressman that was our senator that was on a few years ago, and he was talking about some island, and we couldn't put all of our troops on one end?
Are you talking about Dracula?
No. This was a black guy, and I can't remember his name. He was talking about this island, and we were in the South Seas, and we couldn't put all of our troops on one end of it because the island would flip over. He was a Democrat.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That guy's a freaking mess.
Well, there was also something that came out about California a couple days ago on one of the better networks. And what it is this. Businesses are fleeing California as fast as they can. Governor Brown has made it so unfriendly for business. The tech sector is the only sector in California that's really doing anything. You get rid of Google and maybe a few other tech players in California, the rest of them can't make it out there. The taxes are terrible. The way they go after capital is terrible. The dislocation of capital, the misallocation of capital is terrible. So everybody's leaving California, but the high-tech industry, the super rich, And now they want a bunch of illegals to come in, I guess, and wait their tables and pick their crops, I guess. That's how the elites are. I mean, make no mistake about it. The DNC is run by the elite of our country. These are an elite that know no allegiance to America as we know it. They know allegiance only to the DNC. They hold the DNC above the welfare of our country. And to me, that should be investigated. But you got Mueller over there turning a blind eye to all things left of center.
What are you talking about, Mueller? He was talking
Mueller.
Talking today about wrapping up his investigation, and
I'll sit it better, ma'am. It's a waste of money.
Well, he should just be really starting it. I wonder if they're going to come out now and do an investigation over on the left into Hillary, Bill Obama, Fusion GPS, Bruce Nelly Orr, Struck Page, all these guys, because they're putting
all of that needs to be done. All I can tell you is Sessions dropped the ball. I think that he may be involved in the Hillary Foundation. Somebody may be paying attention. I don't know.
Sessions is
he was a good senator, but my God, how can you drop the 8-ball and give Hillary a free pass? And Comey, God, that guy's dirty. He's a deep state. He admits he's a deep state. He's proud of the deep state. Then he said, I don't want to testify publicly. I mean, he said, I want to give public testimony. And we've all been through that, where they ask him a question in public and he goes, that's classified. I can't talk about it. Give me a break.
Well, they're not going to let him do that now. They announced it. They're going to, from what I understand today, they're going to try to get him in there and burn his ass. Because
they need to.
He did the same thing that they said Papadopoulos and everybody else has done. I mean, he blatantly lied,
He gets a free pass from his buddy Mueller.
Well, Mueller, you got Rice, you got Hillary, Bill, all of them get free passes.
Man, all of that corruption from the DNC is just unbelievable. And CNN, they hope that we all forget it. Don't act like it didn't happen.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
What the thing about CNN is they're part of it.
Let me ask you what you think about old Uncle Joe today. He was on there blasting himself on I caught it on CNN and a couple other networks that Trump isn't fit to run for office and he's going to go ahead and run here in the next term. He said we can't afford another 4 more years of Trump.
Good.
He should check his facts.
I think Joe Biden may be one of the few people older than Trump.
Well, how in the hell is
I'm 74? I guess Biden's got to be 76.
Biden is to me personally is mentally gone. Take your guns. If you see a burglar outside, take your gun and shoot it off outside. And 4,000 Americans get arrested the next day because of what Biden said, and he's going to run the country. Give me a freaking break.
If Biden's all they've got, we're in good shape. You know what? I agree with Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen, the boss, says nobody can beat Trump. He's going to be reelected.
Yeah, him and Ted Nugent. God, I love Ted.
I like that too. But I'll tell you, it's just amazing that how far left the Democratic Party has been dragged.
So what do you think about
bad for the country? Bad for the country.
Joe the Perv thinks he's
I'm all about individual liberty, and I don't care what your sex is. If you want to be gay, you can be gay. If you don't want to be gay, you don't have to be gay. But be something. Don't be confused.
Good evening, Carrie and Gerald and Sean Ditto, and God, there's a bunch of people that have joined in. If I didn't get to your name, it's because there's a bunch of people checking in. I try to get say hi to everybody as they check in. If I missed your name, I'm sorry, Carrie. But Ann wrote in, Joe the Perv thinks he's competent.
Joe, I know. Joe, this guy, Joe Biden, he was always grabbing ass in the White House. I mean, I'll call it like it was. The guy could not keep his hands off females. And, man, if he could slip the tongue, he would.
Oh, yeah. He's just as bad as, what's his name that was in the Senate that they just booted out. What the hell is his name?
Oh, yeah, the comedian, Al Franken.
Al Franken. Yeah. Hi, I'm Al Franken. Check out her boobs.
I'm I'm Al Franken, and you're not.
Yeah, he's Al
Hey,
Franken.
that was a great picture. Who can ever forget? You need to get that. We can put it up sometime. The Al Franken picture was he's like pawing this girl's dress while she's asleep, and he's grinning like the village idiot, like he's some crazy college kid.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Him and Joe. Fritz says she
Maybe
checked
we
in
can
late,
do
but she's here.
five things.
Welcome, Fritz. Okay, so today the Saudi prince, they found out that the Saudi prince today was definitely involved in the journalist killing over there.
Well, that doesn't surprise anybody. They've been butchering people in Saudi Arabia since the beginning of time, since Muhammad's days.
Well, now, here's the whole thing with this, and I kind of see Trump's dilemma here. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, the Dems are wanting to go after Saudi Arabia and stuff. Okay. For one, they're saying, oh, this guy was an American citizen. No, he wasn't. He had a visa to do reporting out of the United States.
And he was working against the interests of the Saudi government, which is probably why they decided to whack him. It's a terrible thing. It didn't happen on our soil either.
No.
If it did, it'd be a whole different ball game. But it was over there in Turkey. And I'm going to tell you, Saudi Arabia is, they're a mess over there. They treat people terrible.
Now, here's...
It's all good to the left. See, the left loves all things Islam. They love anything that's Islam. Don't talk bad about Muhammad. They'll rip the Jews and the Christians, but my God, they'll bow down to their to Muhammad and all that other crap they want to. You know, they're out there. The left has just lost their minds, and they would get in bed with Iran if they could.
Tina wrote in and said. Tina wrote in and said.
Signed a deal with Iran. Remember?
Oh yeah, Tina wrote in and said.
Iranian deal where they gave him like billions of dollars, like drug dealers. That's the left. The left wants to get in bed with people that would bomb us and kill us and take us hostage. I mean, the government of Iran is evil, period. Make no mistake about it. We love Iranian people. They're very sweet. They're nice people. But the government of Iran, these religious lunatics running the country, the left would get in bed. Not only would they get in bed with them, they would give them millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to get in bed with them. Thank God Trump came along and said no more.
Yeah, Tina wrote in and said Joe was touching little girls all the time. And Debbie, how you doing, Miss Debbie? I know Debbie and Tiny. They're friends of mine. Here's the problem that I see with it, Greg. And this is something that really, and I've interviewed a few people that were from over in that sector of the world. Bush, okay, he did some good stuff while he was in office. But the one thing he did, and I talked to this.
Well, not everything, but it was good.
Well, he did.
A lot of good things.
He did some good stuff, you know. But the one thing that I saw he did, which is the left right now, is going to wind up pulling the same bullcrap. Okay. I talked to this one person. I told you this before. That was a member. They weren't a member of the Taliban, but they kind of, you know, they lived over there and they knew what was going on. When Bush went over there, we got involved in something that has been going on for thousands of years. And you don't get in between a brother and brother fight. Okay. Now we're going to go over to Saudi. And that's the guy told me this is why they came over and screwed with the U.S. in 9/11 is because Bush stuck his nose someplace where it didn't belong. Okay. I believe in a whole humanitarian thing, but we have to take care of ourselves here first. Now we go over there. Bush sticks our nose into the middle of this crap. And then all of a sudden we're surprised that, and old man Bush knew too, and the feds and everybody else knew that we were going to get hit during 9/11. They just didn't do anything about it. They just, you know, sat there in their little snowflake castles. But now, if we do the same crap with Saudi.
Had some response. This was all planned while Clinton was in the White House, remember? They were practicing and training while Clinton was in there. And they had already tried to bomb one of those skyscrapers in New York City under Clinton. Again, it's a terrible, terrible thing. This terrorism, the lack of human decency. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's very, very problematic moving forward.
Well, Saudi Arabia now, if you got caught stealing over there, they cut your friggin' hands off. Okay? So if we're going to go over there now, the Dems better think about what they're doing. because I've sat there and weighed this thing out now, and I see it just like what happened during the 9/11. If we go over there and get involved in their personal issues, was exactly what it was. They were pissed off at this reporter, and he had mouthed off to them. He comes in their embassy. The prince says, "Take him out." Okay, we go over there and we get involved. We get involved with that crap. We're going to have another 9/11 because if we cut and do embargoes on oil, sanctions, and everything else.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. I would say this. Saudi Arabia, they are butchers. They are butchers. Do not respect people. They will kill you if you have a Bible. Okay? They don't know Jesus Christ. They don't know God. They are all wrapped up in Muhammad, and they want to use the sword to convert everybody. If you don't get converted, they'll cut your head off. They're not much different than the ISIS when you get right down to it. But yet, they can be our friends. But at an arm.
Well, you know what's pissing me off about the left here is that they're so damn busy worried about saving the rest of the world, the illegals coming across the border, the things that's going over in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Baghdad, all this crap. When in the hell are they going to start worrying about our people here? When in hell are these movie stars, Melissa Milano?
They're trying to blow the country up. They want a country. They want Hillary. If she had her way, there would be the Constitution would be thrown out. Okay, it would be now a one government for Canada, America, South America, Mexico. There would be no borders. It would be a John Lennon Christmas song.
Yep.
There would be no God. There would be no borders. There would just be people living in harmony. And they're a utopia that never will exist, never could exist, and doesn't respect individual liberty.
Now let me say something here that's really, really getting under my crawl lately. You got all these movie stars, and it has been for years. You got all these freaking movie stars that are adopting all these kids from Africa and China and everything else. Okay, I got to do it because it doesn't make me look racist if I adopt a little black baby. Yet we have black babies here in this country. We have American kids here that need adopting first. So why in the hell are they living in little fantasy lands and not adopting freaking babies in this country and then helping our people that don't have food, that don't have medical, that don't have everything else, instead of giving this crap, giving our money, our tax money. It ain't their damn money. Our money, we pay their salaries by watching their stupid ass movies. They scream about gun control, yet they're out there shooting people down. You know, Jim Carrey's the biggest freaking joke I've ever seen in my life. I can't even watch his movies anymore without wanting to punch my TV out. But why in the hell aren't
Jim
they?
Carrey was funny back in the day. Hey, in Living Color, that was a pretty funny show.
Oh yeah, when he's
and you know what?
Fire Marshal Bill.
It a lot, even now. And it's not politically correct. They had a lot of funny skits, and now they act. The country is just our country. Political correctness is a poison to America, and it's taken over our college campuses. They don't want to have due process for anybody, and it's unbelievable the problems we have with the politically correct, which is another thing, a tool of the elite. See, the elite don't want to hear how you and I feel or mainstream America feels. They want to tell us that we need to let a bunch of illegals in for free and then give them better benefits than we give our own citizens. Unbelievable.
Well, here's the guy that comes from Canada, makes money off the back of the U.S. citizens with his freaking movies. And I agree with you. Fire Marshal Bill.
Dumb and Dumber was a funny movie.
Fire Marshal Bill was one of the funniest.
It was pretty funny too.
Fire Marshal Bill is funny as hell. He pulls a Fire Marshal Bill thing off good. The same with, all these other actors and stuff.
The Wayans brothers, they were all funny. But the bottom line, hey, everybody's got their political opinion, and the left owns Hollywood. The best part about the left was when Weinstein got outed, because there you had Michelle Obama. Oh, they adored Weinstein. The Clintons, they adored Weinstein. This guy's like some sexual deviant, terrorizing women, trying to get everybody to sleep with him before they could get into a movie. And he finally got outed. But the left doesn't care. If you're a member of the left, they'll overlook it.
Yep, I know, as they piss me off to no end lately. And in all fairness, the right is pissing me off too. The Republicans have been in office for so long, and they could have for 2 years now, and they.
Now, I don't consider the Republicans the right. I mean, the problem is the Dems have moved so far left, centrist views. Just mainstream centrist views are now viewed as the right. That's sad. I mean, real conservatism is not that. The pure conservatism is a lot more freedom. Most everything would be legal. You wouldn't have the drug war. In a conservative world, it would be legalized and taxed. But, we don't get that. We got regulators everywhere. Everybody wants to regulate everybody else. Too many people want to tell too many other people how to live.
Well, I don't know if you saw it this week that they're trying to ban Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Charlie Brown because Charlie Brown's a racist.
Yeah, that's the left. They're a bunch of idiots over there. They're trying to tear up our culture. The hell with the left.
Last night I talked about when you were.
The best thing about our new governor, because Gilliam didn't win, I don't think we're going to have a big Antifa problem here in Florida. But if Gilliam would have won, the Antifa wouldn't have been far behind, because that's what they do. They go to the blue states and they create chaos for anybody that would dare question ridiculous liberal policies.
Yeah. The country's
Buckley conservative, by the way.
I told
William
you.
Buckley, who passed away, a great man, very liberal in some areas, they would say, but those were conservative positions. And unfortunately, our country hasn't adopted many of them. We need to be more individual about individual liberty and about individual rights, because that's what makes America great. It was an individual that developed Apple. It was a small group of individuals that made a great company, and then it became great.
Not according to Obama.
Individual initiative, we're screwed.
Not according to Obama. You didn't make that. Anyways, Crystal Sanders said, "Thank God people are finally beginning to see what's really happening. Damn shame." All right, Crystal, you need to come on the air. You need to get your book promoted. This gal's a good writer. I worked with her in the past on a few projects. Yeah, I got to get her to send me one of your books, Crystal, so I can send it over to Greg. I'm not going to say the name of her book, but.
How did you come with the Podesta memos?
I've been reading them for the last couple of days.
Can you get me a copy of some of that stuff? Because I really want to be able to. That right there is the Democratic playbook. I mean, they say we own the media. By and large, it's true. We own education, higher education. By and large, it's true. But they don't have quite the docile American public that they're looking for. And I hope that as long as you and I are around, they'll never have that docile American public that they think is so dumb. They're so dumb. The American people are so dumb. I'll tell them that they're going to get better health insurance and that they'll be able to keep their doctors. And we're just going to lie to them and then get it passed. And then we're going to go back 2 years later and then brag about how we lied to the dumb Americans to get this ridiculous law passed. Thank God Trump came in and cleaned it up. We can blame Roberts on that too.
Well, you know what? If they would just take the money that they're spending on illegals and sending overseas to countries that don't care for us, we'd all have freaking health insurance. We wouldn't be trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. We'd all have pretty much everything we'd want, and then we'd have a freaking utopia. But as long as they keep giving this stuff away, and Crystal's right on that, people are starting to see it, and they're starting to get pissed off. And I don't blame them. I know it pisses me off because we hire these politicians to do what's in our best interest, and they don't do it. They're trying to do everything else what is in the best interest of some freaking people coming up from Somalia, over 500 or 600, 900 gang members now, or people that are thinking. And how in the hell are they going to even vet these people? You know, like I said before.
That's another myth. They didn't vet a lot of these people. You know, the only vetting they did was if you're a Christian from the Middle East, you can't come in. If you're a Muslim from the Middle East, come on in. We're going to fast track you and we're going to put you out in the middle of the country somewhere or in Minnesota somewhere. And then you can have your own little world out there. That's screwed up. I mean, how about teaching them English? You know, I want anybody that comes to America to be like what Barbara Jordan said, who was a great Democrat from Texas. Learn our customs, learn our tradition, learn our language, learn what it is to be an American, and join us. But don't, you know, come in and think you're going to bring your third world lunacy over here and we're going to change for you. You're over here in the land of the free and the home of the brave, not some third world blank hole.
Oh, no, I agree. I got a picture up here. I'm trying to see what it is. What's this picture about?
Are you talking about?
This is the total people experiencing homelessness in 2017 for each state.
Okay, yeah, this is something good, Greg. Check this out. I couldn't tell exactly what it was at first, but this is the total of people that are experiencing homelessness throughout the United States.
You know, I wish I could see it. There's something that's blocking that from my screen. But, yeah, well, how many? Just give me the hard numbers.
They're up all, holy crap, 23,000 plus in Texas. It's kind of blurred on my screen. Let me see if I can swell it up. I can swell it up on this one. I get this little fancy tablet here. 10,000 is something in Georgia, 32,000 in Florida. Now, speaking of Florida, the other day when I come up to see you at your office there, by the way,
there's
I wasn't.
A lot of homeless out here, honey. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of homeless out front of my office.
Can you pull that off of my phone?
What's that?
That picture I took of the homeless people
up
there the other day. I went up to see Greg the other day for you guys and gals listening, and not because I'm in trouble. Greg's my buddy. I go up, I hang out at his office. We shoot the breeze for a little bit with Cash. By the way, tell Cash.
Fast, but go ahead.
I want to get Cash on the show one night with you. I love that guy. The guy.
Yeah, sure.
Johnny Cash. Anyways, when I was in downtown Jacksonville, leaving your office, there's a park there, right outside the courthouse. Now, I don't see this on the news or anything, but there had to be 500 to 1,000 homeless people out there. As a matter of fact, I've got a picture of it right here that I took out of my truck. And this is pretty freaking sad. Tell me if you recognize this area right here. Chris is going to put it up right now. Can you zoom in on that, Chris?
Yeah, I think I drive by there every day.
Corner right there.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a park, actually. And hopefully they're not all sleeping there at night.
I mean, every one of these people, can you swell up more, Chris, for me? These people are all with plastic garbage bags and tents and laying out there. And there's got to be at least 500 people out there that are homeless.
And that was on the 28th when it was extremely cold.
Yeah, that was on the 28th when it was really cold out.
It's sad because here lies a simple truth, and that is life isn't fair. Some people are poor. They'll always be poor. They'll always be rich. They'll always be the middle class. There's always going to be people in between, but there's always going to be poor. And no matter what we do as a country, there's always going to be some poor person, because that means there's always going to be somebody making bad choices. If you decide to smoke crack, do drugs, and drink every day, and not go to work, you're going to end up homeless or in jail or dead.
Or calling you to get them out of jail.
I mean, part of it is, you got to lift yourself up. Because sometimes you got to lend a helping hand. I get that. But there's always going to be poor people, because there's always going to be people making poor choices.
Well, that and a lot of people, the homeless that I've talked to, we've got a young artist, and I'm not going to mention her name. And right now, they had $1 million or $2 million before everything went bust and Obamacare came in. they have spent all their life savings because this young lady has some medical issues going on, and they lost their insurance because of Obamacare. So now they're living in their parents' basement, and they're one step being homeless. And face it, all of us are one step closer to being homeless than we realize.
America, we're just a paycheck or two ahead. I get you. I get it.
But anyways, Greg, holy crap, we're already out of time, buddy. You gonna be on next Tuesday night?
Yeah, but hey, let's finish up with something positive.
Okay.
Okay. Democracy in America. We're a democratic republic. There are some problems, but if we all come together, we can work it out.
Yep. I like what Crystal wrote. I got to close out with this one. It says, we have many creative solutions to help, but government won't let us. In many places, it's illegal to feed them. That's a good point. Why is it illegal for us to feed the bears and the buffaloes, but yet it's legal for us to feed illegals?
Hey, another thing. I think the government actually likes to have crime. They don't want to get rid of all the crime. They want a certain amount of crime they think is good for the country. I don't agree with that either.
Yep. All right, Greg. Well, I'm going to let you go. I got to close out the show here. We got about 2 minutes left. So I will talk to you next Tuesday night.
Hey, can you see me doing my Bernie Sanders impression?
It looks like Richard Nixon.
All right, well, have a great weekend.
All right, Greg. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. That was Greg Williams, attorney at law. If you guys need a good attorney, give Greg a call. He does everything but murder cases. He's up in Jacksonville. Just go to the bottom of the screen, and you'll see it after the show. We have some. Make sure you check out. There's a picture of him right there. You can go and get his number. It is 904-358-8180. But give the guy a call. He'll work with you, too, if you're getting in trouble. He will not do murder cases, which I don't blame him. Thanks, Crystal. It was a pleasure having you on tonight. Usually I don't see you. Give me a call tomorrow, girl. Anyhow, before I close out here, I try to be fair on both sides. The Democrats and the Republicans, both of them don't seem to have our best interests at heart all the time. It's all about the Benjamins and how much money they can put in their pockets. Until you stand up, you have a voice. And until you stand up and use that voice and use your right to vote and to protest peacefully, not like these idiots that are out throwing rocks and Antifa and all these other freaking idiots out there, and stand up to racism and everything else, but quit trying to be so damn politically correct. It doesn't work for me. I'm going to say whatever I'm going to say, and yes, it gets me in trouble with some people, and some people click off the site. You know what? I don't care. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the First Amendment. I believe in the right to freedom of speech. Once I lose my right, you lose your right too. So, but with that, I want to thank our first responders and the people that are out risking their lives for us, the sheriff's departments, our volunteer firefighters, our paid firefighters, our EMS people, but most important to our veterans. We are coming up on Christmas here in a few days. I'm not going to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas on the side of the mic. I believe in Christmas. It's also the season of giving. We have a few families that still need toys for their children. And one of the things I didn't talk about tonight, which I'll get into tomorrow night, is about this idiot teacher up in New Jersey telling her 5- and 6-year-old classroom kids that there's no Santa Claus and there's no Easter Bunny and there's no spirit. When this country loses the magic that we have and belief in our system and belief in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy and all that, once that magic of believing in something better is gone, then we're totally screwed. So you guys keep that in thought tonight. Remember our veterans. Remember to drop some stuff off by the fire departments. Our volunteer firefighters are out in the cold weather. We have kids that need jackets. We need help getting these other people in. I got to give my shout outs to Tammy. She's out there grocery shopping right now, I believe. She busts her butt on the Putman Way. You guys can catch the Putman Way, Zen Lemon Tree, IITW Radio. We're going to be announcing more contests tomorrow night. And I've got some good stuff to give away. As a matter of fact, I think I have a tool set coming, a nice tool set coming from one of our auto dealerships. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow night at 7:30, and I'll be giving away something. And we're going to give away this big speaker behind me, too. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night. I'm out. I got to give my shout outs real quick to Mama B, my nieces and nephews, my sister Lori, Annette up in Louisiana, Mr. Steve. Who else am I forgetting? Chris's mom.
The staff at River City Vet.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have them on the air here pretty soon. Dr. Lee. And we are also going to have a concert coming up. I'm going to announce it tomorrow night with Austin Neal, the guy singing right now.
And Calvin.
Austin Neal kicks some butt. All right, guys and gals, I'm out.
On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. To a different time with my old man, watching the old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, there are ways among us, brothers in arms. Back to those nights, I'm sitting there, writing letters home, to picking that old 6-string just to keep from feeling alone. Seen some tough times, some crying eyes, but never quit on me. Been through hell and back, even brought us back to where our hearts need to be. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. A different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. And there are ways among us, brothers in arms. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. To a different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, there are ways among us, brothers in